class is in session. The Brofessor is in. What's happening, y'all? Let's take a look at this new Rocky Balboa from Rocky 4 and see some of his cool movesets. This is the tech version at 6-star bronze. So I do want to say that I am an official Scopely content creator. I do not get to keep this character. It will be taken back once the previews are completed. Now that that's done, just so we can see the character in himself as a trainer, and this is going to be excellent, he is going to do 50% more damage for any color gems. That is going to be a huge trainer going forward, and just standard links and gears with the legend era. So I got a few move sets for you. The first one I'm going to show you is one that doesn't even need a strap, although having a strap and some black move damage would definitely help. But for this move set, it just recycles and it steals health. So the Savage Uppercut is going to steal. Let's move back a page here so we can see where the base is. So the Savage Uppercut is a green finisher, steals up to 7.16k, 716,000 health, and then pins the opponent. And then you're going to use the Rushing Body combo, dealing 239k damage, and it's going to increase your green MP by 9. So this will start turn 1 in feud. So this is T1 feud. And also turn 1 in feud as well too, although it's hard to read when you put it over top of that. The other is the Corner Barrage, so you're going to do 250k damage and make the bottom row into 1-turn countdowns. That will deal 137k each and increase your black MP by 2. So you're going to recycle this. You're going to hit for a lot of health steal and heal yourself. And basically, as long as your opponent doesn't get a massive hit on you, you should be able to survive it. In terms of the entourage, what we're going to be using is woods to get the black MP started, and to get those 2 black moves off turn 1, and then you are going all health steal as much as you possibly can. So these are the more common health steal characters. So using Roman Reigns gives you 50% more. Using Zombie Brian is going to give you 31% more health steal at where I have him at 16k. And using Zombie Balor, well, will give you 10% right there. Now again, these aren't the best ones for it. If you did purchase and or want to use a Clubber Lang, you can see that adding him here in this slot does 150% more health steal. So this is a great coach for this Rocky Balboa, even though they absolutely hated each other in the movies. Sorry to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it. But that is one option. But if you didn't get him or don't have him very high, this is another option. And another one that you can use here, whom I do not have, is Showboat Nakamura. So if you have Nakamura, you are going to steal 100% more health. So using Nakamura, using Clubber Lang, you can easily bring this up to about 3 million, maybe more per turn. So definitely a moveset worth trying out. It's a fun and easy one where you're just constantly healing yourself turn after turn. So let's take him out on the road. Unfortunately, the only one I got to play against today is Ivar. So let's go check out a quick match, which it will be because he's only a 5-star gold. So so I have +2 tour perks right now, but in a feud with a +1, you would have these going off on turn 1 for you pretty easily. Love the Boxing Barrage. So it's going to give you all the green MP to get your finisher going. Another Corner Barrage. So all of these on the bottom are going to turn into give me 2 black MP. So as long as 3 of them survive the pin, then we are good. And then we give the big uppercut. We hit for 1.3. He's not going to kick out of this, or maybe he will. Ooh, he actually did kick out. So we get a chance to actually see it in action. So they all went off. We did a bunch of damage from these as well. So what you could do is you could put maybe a Z plate on him. You could also put a JD plate on there as well too, so you can continually just take your opponent's turns down. So that's another way to really mess with your opponent, but also do extra damage. Although with this moveset, putting the Z plate on there would only really affect their kick out because you're not actually swiping any gems. There's not one gem swipe that you're doing with this moveset, but you are constantly healing. As you see, I'm now fully healed again. And so the better trainers / coaches that you have, the faster a moveset like this would go. It would take you 2, maybe 3 cycles through. Pretty quick animations at the same time. All right, let's go check out another moveset. So let's check out another moveset that you can use with this Rocky Balboa. And this time we're going to go the double purple green. So we're going to hit the rapid jab combo, deal 136k damage, choose a 3x2 area to swap into green gems. Then we're going to hit the desperate haymaker to stun our opponent. I like that the haymaker stuns. I think that's really cool. And force your opponent to miss 2 turns with the stun. And lastly, the taunt and punish. And this is what makes it happen. You get to choose the 2 rows to make into trap gems. If your opponent breaks them, deal 302k damage. So really hefty damage on those. But if broken by you, you deal 100k damage, but you increase your purple MP by 1. So it'll recycle, just like we saw with the last one. It'll nicely recycle for us. And in terms of what we're going to use woods to start with 4 more purple MP, so that way this is turn 1 infused. That's what we want. And then the rest of the trainers and the coaches, I find, is really up to you and depending on who you have. So you can either go gem damage or move damage. You can even go armor if you really wanted to as well too, so you don't take a lot of damage in return. But essentially you're stun locking. So it depends on your medals that you have in terms of how much damage you can do in that case. So I put on one of the new Rocky Balboas to show what it would look like with a lot more move damage. And then I know Acro Dragon is a little bit rare, but thought maybe you'd like to see what would happen with extra trap gem damage, even though we're not creating any more trap gems. And then Hogan for more gem damage. And this time I did put on a strap. The plate itself will not help us as a legit boss on there right now, but it does have Fury 2s. And I will change out this medal before the match starts. So let's go check out this match, and we'll play up against Ivar again. So I did put a Fury 2 purple flat move damage medal on him, so you can see with a little bit of extra damage on each of the purple moves. So what we're going to want to do is break 6 of these trap gems on the first turn. So we need to put it in an area where we will not cascade. That is number 1. And then we will have a second chance to put down more of these on the second go through. So here's what I mean. So we'll do a 2x3 here and hopefully don't cascade, which we don't. And now we can hit our stun. So now we've got him stunned for 2 turns. And now we can put down 2 more rows of this somewhere where he's likely to hit. Come on. Oh, good God. And it worked. All right, we're back. And now we want to do the same thing. We want to make sure we get 6 of them. So that way we reload our purples. And we can do a nice big cascade as well too. Each one we break gives us some extra damage. And now him breaking the trap gems on his turn, it just bled him out of the remainder of his health. So you can see how effective that would be. We would just stun lock forever at that point. So that's another way that you can run this particular moveset. So we got one more move set to show you. This one's going to include the corner barrage, so 250k damage, and make the bottom one row into one turn countdown gems. That'll deal 137k and increase your black MP by 2. Then we're also going to bring back in the stun move, which we've already seen, and lastly the Juggernaut gem move. So I'll deal 151k, choose 2 gems to make into 2-turn Juggernauts that will modify a 1/6 random area into project gems of strength 68k on every turn and increase your green MP by 5 at the end of your turn. So in terms of feud and getting this to work, you're going to need a Santa Hogan 17k, which I don't have here, but if you do have all of your perks, I'll be able to at least show them right now that you can do this with Santa 17k with the perks that I have already equipped. So we're going to go double MP trainer, and then we can bring on in coaching wise, you can either go move damage, you can go gem damage. It's entirely up to you. And if you have a chic plate would help a lot in the sense that you could also help buff up green move damage. So if you have, so this is where I would also use green move belt, which I don't have, but at 200%, that would obviously, if you have a takedown 2 at 200%, or if you had a Fury 2 at 200%, you could do a ton more damage, at least on the move wise of all of this. So let's go beat up on Ivar one more time. So say your prayers, eat your vitamins. So for this moveset, again, with Santa Hogan at 17k, you'll get both of these off on turn 1. The alternate thing you can do is do 2 green MP trainers, but you won't get this countdown gem off unless you make a match. So that's the sort of downside to it. And if you do have the 200% metal, then these will start hitting for 600 to 800k each one of them, especially if you have takedown 2s on them. So this is more just to see and show you how it all works. So it's going to make the bottom row, so you don't have to think about that. And then you're going to make 2 turns of a stun and put down these gems over here. We have a black match, so that also works. And so now our black moves is charged up again, so we're going to drop these down again. So you can also do a black move damage because you're going to get this off almost every turn. You don't want to break any of your protect gems if you can help it, of course, but if you have to, then you have to. And then the stun has one more turn left. And now it's all charged up again. And so these countdown gems will didn't want to do that, will continually charge your black move, and you'll be able to just keep a stun lock going the entire time. So what's really going to make this viable is getting as much move damage done as possible, since you aren't really swiping. And then the other thing is that depending on how many of these gems we can put down, so now our protect gems are doing 82,000 for each one, and we have 5, 10, 15, 22 of them on the board. So when you do get to the end of your protect gems, you have a better chance of keeping them down with a big pin. And there's the win right there. So you can go armor with this build, but I would recommend probably going move damage, so that way you don't have to do this as many turns. So there you have it. This is Rocky 4, the Rocky Balboa that you have a chance to get in this mid-MLC 2-week competition. Very good card, very easy to use, low move charges, good for feud, and will stun lock, will cause problems for your opponent. So Thanks for coming to class today. The Brofessor appreciates it. Smash with a big punch, a big boxing punch, that like and subscribe button, and I will see y'all next time.